What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Rope Monster coming at you here from beautiful sunny Playa del Carmen. Now guys, I've had a number of you asking about beach conditions, so here I am bright and early, guys. This is before breakfast, before my shower, before my workout. So if you appreciate me taking time out of my morning, just smash that like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to cover the beaches all the way from the Windham Ultra and to the south via drone, and then I'm going to go POV all the way up to Paradisus, guys. I've had a subscriber asking what are the conditions in front of Paradisus. I'm going to take you up there on foot all the way to the north. And spoiler alert, guys, it's not pretty. There's actually only one beach right now that I saw scouting on the way down here, with no sargassum on the beach and very little in the water. The rest of them get a bad or worse rating. So guys, let's dig in. And as always, I'm gonna tag all the products that I'm wearing in this video. I've had a number of you ask about, hey, the glasses, what are you wearing? The hat, the bag, even anything from my thermos to the sunscreen that I put on. I'll tag those products in the video, guys. Thanks for taking time out of your day to be here. It is Friday, June 13th. Let's go take a look at some beaches in Playa del Carmen. Vamanos. All right, my friends, we're here on Constituyentes, and this is the beautiful Windham Ultra right here. And I have to say, this is going to be one of your better options if you want to do some wading, some sunbathing. Why is that? Well, two reasons. The smell is not that bad. There's very little sargassum on the beach, and there's very little in the water. This is actually some of the clearest water I've seen today and in the recent weeks here in Playa del Carmen. You can see the quality of the water here is actually very nice. It's refreshing. The only word of caution, guys, down in this area, be aware of sea urchins because of the rocks, but it is a very pleasant spot. And I think I'll be down here actually later today to get some sun myself. Now guys, I also have a very special guest at the end of this video, a friend and fellow YouTuber. No, it is not William Taudian. I have been collabing with him recently, but I have a very special guest who's in a very different, theme, if you will, in YouTube. And so we're gonna grab coffee and finish out the video with that bonus material up on 5th Ave at Cacao. So you can see some sargassum here collecting, guys. But overall, this is a pretty decent spot compared to what I've seen this morning. From here, I will fly the drone to the south to see what the beaches in the center are looking like, but it has been disastrous lately. It looks like with the naked eye, I can see down there to Fundadores, it looks like they're doing a decent job cleaning up the sargassum down there. Only one way to find out. We'll get Dronaldo up in the sky momentarily. But for those of you coming down, staying at the Windham Ultra, or coming down to Playa in general, this is a pretty solid option actually compared to some of the other resorts at the moment. And guys, if you're down in Playa Car, let me know in the comments what things are looking like where you're staying. Let us all know. This is a community. The point is to share and always be in the know about the best possible beaches at any given time. Not bad down here, guys, at the Windham Ultra. I can see that we're gonna need to do some flying down here and take a look at things in front of the Taj and to the south. All right, guys, it is quite windy, but we're going to risk little Dronaldo today. This little guy is tough, but if you appreciate my risking Dronaldo and you appreciate Dronaldo's efforts, just smash that like button and leave some love by typing a heart emoji and Dronaldo. This little dude does some serious work for us. There's some 30-mile-an-hour gusts today, so Godspeed, Dronaldo. Let's do this. All right, so as we get Dronaldo up into the sky, we're doing a little bit of testing here just to see how he handles the wind. And to the left of your screen, on the left there, you can see the Windham Ultra. We'll take a closer look here in the next shot. You can see to the right, that little beach where we filmed the intro is a pretty solid option, but as we zoom in, you can see that this beach here is a disaster. And as we fly to the south toward the Taj and farther south toward Playa Diez, things are looking absolutely atrocious. That's unfortunate because I do like to do ice baths at Vikingo's Fit Club, but the smell is very, very strong over in that area. And as we pan slightly out to sea here, you can see some patches that are pretty big coming in toward Playa Fundadores that look like they're about to hit Playa Fundadores. So I would say that the area south of Constituyentes is basically a no-go as far as the beaches, and you can actually smell the sargassum all the way up on 5th Avenue depending on which way the wind is blowing. Now at the top and center of your screen, you can see the north part of Playa Car is pretty bad. There's a lot of sargassum there, but to the south, it looks like Playa Car is actually pretty nice right now. I'll have to get down there on foot to be sure, so stay tuned for that update. And as we come back to the north, we're up about 100 meters here, and you can get a bigger picture of how the sargassum is looking. And you can see off in the north that net system there. We're going to take a closer look at that and what effect that's having on the beaches in front of the Hilton, the Hyatt, and Martina Beach Club in Playa 38. Here we're looking at the Hilton Beach Club at the bottom of your screen there. Not so bad there. There are a couple of big patches of sargassum. The issue is becoming erosion. But you can see here in front of the Hyatt, there's a pretty good stretch of beach and water to enjoy. You can see also though that little cliff, and we're going to take a look at that on foot in just a few minutes, and that erosion issue there. Now we're in front of Mamitas. You can see now the sargassum becomes bad once again. And the situation deteriorates as we get to the north in front of Mahekal right there, and Playa 38. And we're now approaching Martina Beach Club there at the top center of your screen. And you can see it's an absolute disaster right now, so you may want to find a different option at this time for your beach club enjoyment. Now here we're taking a look at this net system, and this is where the boats come and go. They have to go through this little opening, but the question is how much sargassum is getting through there? It seems like quite a bit. Now here we're going to zoom out and fly over this net system. You can see that sargassum appears to have come in through that opening. Because the nets are doing a good job, but you can see a lot has gotten through that opening from the look of things. And so we'll lower down once again and take a closer look at this net, and then we'll fly into the beach at the Grand Hyatt and see if this net is at least blocking the sargassum from floating into the beach at the Hyatt. Here you can see just the sheer amount of sargassum that this net is collecting. And as we pan back toward the beach, that is the Grand Hyatt in the center of the screen. And you can see the water there is quite clear. So this is looking to be one of the best options in Playa del Carmen at this time, the beach in front of the Grand Hyatt. Now guys, we're taking one last top-down look at the Hilton Beach Club here. You can see the part of the beach closest to the pier at Constituyentes is the best option if you're staying at the Hilton Beach Club. Now we've got one last look at the Hilton and the Windham Ultra as we bring Dronaldo in for the landing. and time to get some boots back on the ground. That little beach there by the Windham is pretty solid. All right, my friends, we've got little Ronaldo right here coming on home. Good work, buddy. He was getting absolutely manhandled by the wind up there. That was a little risky. I got a lot of high wind warnings. Hopefully you guys found those shots useful. Now we're gonna move on foot to the north up as far as Paradissus. If you guys are enjoying the content so far, smash that like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already. That's really all I ask for in return, and I truly appreciate it. It means the world to me. Let's go, guys. Let's get to the north, to Paradissus, to the Hyatt, to the Hilton, Martina Beach Club, Playa 38, Coco Beach, the Reef at Coco Beach. Let's do this. And guys, for those of you wondering about the drone that I'm flying, little Dronaldo here is a DJI Mini 3, and he is doing work today. And yes, he is burning through a lot of battery. So I did get the Fly More pack from DJI. I've got 3 extra batteries here, not to worry. We can fly for about an hour, even in this heavy wind, about an hour straight with the 3 batteries I have here and the one that Dronaldo is currently equipped with. But just to give you a reference point, I burnt through 60% of that battery just getting those drone shots that you just looked at. So, woo, no joke in this heavy wind, but the DJI Mini 3 for the win every single time. Guys, as you can see from those drone shots, the beaches to the south and the center, not so great. Playa Fundadores looks decent. It looks like it's worth visiting. Let's go to the north and let's check out that one beach that has no sargassum on the beach or in the water, and move on to the north from there as we leave the Windham Ultra right here. Beautiful spot. Really enjoying this. So next stop, guys, is going to be the Hilton and the Hilton Beach Club. As I finish the last of the morning coffee. Still hot in the Stanley. Gotta love the Stanley thermos. All right, guys, we've got this Chichen Itza of sargassum still here at Constituyentes. It's got a smell to it, not gonna lie. This is the Hilton Beach Club right here. And as you can see, they're putting in the work, but there is some erosion here. Unfortunately, the more they drive on this with the heavy machinery, the more they rake this stuff up, the more sand we lose, and then the sargassum becomes less of an issue and the erosion becomes more of an issue. The water here nonetheless is very refreshing, feels really good on the feet, but you can see there's barely any room for this guy to get by. And the sand's getting more and more compacted here right in front of the lounges. So that is the situation on the ground here in front of the Hilton. Moving on to the north, guys, we've got the Grand Hyatt coming up. And then we'll cover Mamita, Playa 38, and Martina Beach Club shortly after that. All right, my friends, we are coming up now on what will be likely your best option for a beach in the heart of Playa del Carmen. Let's check this out. So we are just getting in front of the Grand Hyatt. And you can see this little bit of sargassum on the beach here, not bad, but it actually gets better to the north of here. And we can see that in the drone shots, that those nets out there are actually doing quite a bit of good. And the result is that right here we've got very, very little sargassum in the water in comparison to the rest of Playa del Carmen at this time. But once again, the issue becomes the erosion. You can see there's a little drop off here starting, and Mother Nature is claiming quite a bit of sand. And the sargassum does serve to protect from this. And because they're ferociously cleaning it up here for fear of losing out on tourism, we are now losing beach. And you can literally see it happening with each passing wave. You can see this freshly fallen sand right here. And Mother Nature taking it right out to sea. Hola, hola, buen día. And so this time last year, the erosion was quite a bit worse. But we're basically one heavy storm away from losing a lot of this unprotected sand here. So the sargassome's a blessing and a curse, guys. Just remember that the beaches to the north, like Playa 72, that have more of a quote-unquote sargassum issue, do not have the same issue typically with erosion. We're here now in front of Coralina Daylight Club. So you can see. Hola chicos, ¿qué tal?
Hey, hi.
Hola, hola.
Very famous.
Woo! Dile hola YouTube.
Hola, YouTube.
Que tengan buen día, chicos. So guys, they're working hard to set up the beach club there at Coralina. And really that stretch of beach that we just walked right there is currently your best option, at least north of Playa Car. I'll have to get down to Playa Car and do a full update down there. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you want me to hit Playa Car and do a full beach update. It's been about a week and a half, I want to say, 10, 11 days since I've been down there. And it was hit and miss last time I was down there, but it really wasn't bad. There were a couple of really nice spots. So this is not a bad place, guys, to come set up the umbrella and enjoy right there in front of the Grand Hyatt. But how are things looking in front of Mamitas, you ask? Let's find out. All right, guys, here at the entrance of Playa Mamitas, you can see multiple tractors out here, front loaders putting in work to haul away the sargassum. But you can see here, hopefully you can see in the shot, there's just so much washing in, getting through the nets, that they're falling behind here in front of Mamita Beach Club. And also the erosion is slowly creeping up and claiming the beach in front of the lounges here. This is where the water line was last year at this time, all the way up to these stairs. Filmed a video last year in June, and I was literally having to walk through the water right here where I'm walking currently. So that's how bad, that's just how bad the erosion can get. We're not there yet, but it is trending in that direction, guys. But nonetheless, Mamita's still a pretty nice option compared to some of the other beaches. And there's really no smell here, at least, because they are cleaning up the sargassum before there's any standing backwater or rotting of the sargassum. So Mamitas gets a pass, good, but not great. Let's move on to the beach in front of Mahekal and Playa 38. These ladies are putting in work. I'm always sure to thank them when I walk by for all their hard work. This is not an easy job, and probably a fairly thankless job, but not today. We're gonna say thanks as we walk by. Muchísimas gracias. Que tengan buen día. Those have to be some of the strongest women right there in Mexico. I see the way they're using their shoulders, using the wheelbarrow, using the pitchfork. Good on them. All right, guys, let's move on to Playa 38. All right, guys, this is where things really start to deteriorate and take a turn for the worse. We saw that a little bit with the drone shots, but check this out. Just the amount washing in the water. These piles building up. Hola, hola, buenos dias. So you can see the stark contrast. If we look behind us, in the distance, there's some pretty decent beach. And as we look to the north, things aren't looking so rosy. We are now in front of Mahekal and coming up on Playa 38. Once again, guys, if you appreciate the 15,000 steps or so that I'm putting in to bring you this content, just smash that like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments if you enjoy these beach updates and beach walks so that I know to continue to bring them to you each and every week. Now guys, it is about 9:30 in the morning and the beach is coming to life a little bit here. I believe these are the lifeguards here doing their training, staying in shape. And having a little fun, it looks like, playing some football or soccer. Awesome. Shaping up to be a beautiful day here in Playa, guys. Now, sargassum or not, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I used to live on the west coast of Mexico, and I still love Puerto Vallarta, Puerto Escondido. But this is home, and the sargassum just part of the life here. But it's not stopping anyone from having a good time, as we see here. Better get out of the way. All right, my friends, the entrance of Playa 38. And at least the beach is nice and wide. All during high season, the erosion was so bad that there basically was no Playa 38. So that's the good news for sure. Another thing I could recommend, guys, if you're athletic and you like to paddleboard, just rent a paddleboard and paddle out a ways and enjoy the water out there. A neighbor and friend of mine, Poncho, was saying that if you just paddle out a couple hundred meters, the water's crystal and beautiful. And I think for the most part, he's spot on. So now we're in the north part of Mahekal, walking toward Martina Beach Club. And forgive any wind noise, guys. I do have the furry on the camera, but it is a very windy morning here. And this is where the smell becomes an issue, guys. You can see the two different colors now of sargassum here coming up on the beach. You can see the lighter green stuff and then the dark brown that's been there for, if I had to guess, at least a week, maybe two. And that stuff is starting to rot and give off a smell. And for that reason, these two beach clubs here, Encanto and Martina, have been like ghost towns lately, unfortunately. So we'll check out, we're now at the Playa 40 entrance, which is still closed due to road work. So if you want to come down here, you will have to use the Coco Beach entrance or the Playa 38 entrance. As you can see, this is still sectioned off. This is Encanto Beach Club on a Friday morning. And unfortunately here we've got mountains of sargassum in front of Martina. I would have to put this amongst some of the worst beaches, if not, well, it's not the worst, but it's up there. in all of Playa right now. As far as the smell, it's pretty awful, and then just the sheer amount of sargassum. Check this out. Oh, that's awful. Yep. I will not be coming to Martina anytime soon. Just about a month ago, this was one of the nicest beaches in Playa, and that's why you watch these beach updates, guys, and that's why I do them. I do love Martina Beach Club. It's iconic, it's beautiful. Oof. But the smell, unfortunately, for most would be unbearable. That's rough, guys. I'm gonna move right along to the Reef at Coco Beach, will be the next stop. Then we've got Playa 72, Playa 88, and I'm gonna put in the legwork and go all the way to Paradissus as promised. You know who you are, subscribers, asking about Paradissus coming down. I believe one subscriber said they're coming down on the 16th. So, and I promised I would get down there before your trip. This is me fulfilling that promise. Salud. Here we are in front of Mandarino Beach Club. And unfortunately it's a ghost town, and I have to think a lot of that is due to the sargassum. Hopefully they come up with a long-term reasonable solution soon. Alright guys, we've got these sargassum kind of collection points along the way. The last one was at the pier at Constituyentes. You absolutely want to avoid being downwind from any of those. We are now upwind from that, and the smell is much better as we approach Coco Beach. And yes, you can get through here right now on foot. I'll show the pass through here. So not bad getting through here. You will have to get slightly wet. Alright guys, let's see how the reef at Coco Beach is looking. They do have this permanent cordoned off, netted off swimming area, so we'll see if that's doing any good. Heavy wind. Once again, forgive any wind noise coming through the furry on the camera. Buenos dias. Good vibes. Always got to see if I can get a smile out of any given person. That's my real agenda during the day. Get as many smiles as possible. We achieved that with her. I liked her Nirvana shirt. That's why I looked back a few times. Finally just raised up my thermos and said good morning. Amazing what a couple words can do. All right guys, now the water is brown and murky here, but at least the beach is fairly clean here at the Reef at Coco Beach. But looking to the north, things do not look quite so rosy. So we may fly the drone here from the dock or from another point on the beach. I think I've got time before my coffee meeting with the special guest of today's video. So we will get Ronaldo back up in the sky one last time. I think I'm gonna get a little bit closer to equidistance between here and Punta Esmeralda so I can cover as much beach as possible. Perhaps if the wind permits, I'll cover the beaches even to the north of Punta Esmeralda. For those of you wondering about those beaches, my goal in these updates is to cover as much beach as possible. Once again, let me know in the comments if you want me to go cover Playa Car, get my culito down there and film Playa Car for you all. This may shape up to be one of those 30,000 plus step days, but I am feeling good. The ankle, for those of you wondering who follow the channel, after the bicycle accident, the ankle is getting better. I've been doing acupuncture and just taking good care of that. So thank you all for the get well wishes. I am on the mend. And that should be good news for you all who watch these Playa del Carmen Beach updates. Now I can cover more and more ground in a single day. All right, guys. Playa Coco Beach. Quite a bit of sargassum here. And the water is straight up brown. So no way to sugarcoat this. The beach itself, though, is at least not eroded. That is the benefit of leaving some of this sargassum. All right, once again, guys, they're putting in the work here, but the smell is pretty bad, and the amount of sargassum is almost unbelievable. Some of these beaches, as mentioned, are basically unrecognizable compared to just about 2 months ago. Mid-April, I had a friend come down. Luckily for him, shout out Jesse, the conditions were just about perfect. The water was great mid-April. Beaches were fantastic, crystal clear. We had some great swims. Fast forward, and this beach is almost unrecognizable. We've got some standing water between the fresh sargassum and the old sargassum, which is a recipe for a very strong odor. Now, the million-dollar question is, how are things looking and smelling down in front of the beautiful Paradissus? A lot of you love that spot, and for good reason. It's a beautiful destination. But how is the beach? Now, fortunately, there's really nice grounds. You can enjoy the pools and the amenities, the spa, etc. But as far as getting in the water, how's that looking? I think I have time to get down there on foot. And if I don't make it all the way down there, I will fly the drone down there and get as many close-up shots as I can to see exactly how things were looking there. This standing water is what you don't want to see. This is one of my favorite areas to play volleyball and hang out, drink mate, and just do a whole lot of nothing. Yesterday I was up here at these palapas before going and eating a mountain of seafood. Stay tuned for that video, guys, coming out on Saturday the 14th. A gem of a seafood spot, and I racked up quite the bill over there, but it was worth it. But how I worked up the appetite for all that food is I was doing some exercise up here, hanging out at these palapas and doing some isometrics and some yoga and some martial arts. So this is still one of my favorite beaches and one of the most ample, wide beaches for playing frisbee, football, volleyball, whatever it may be. And I actually did get in the water just up here past the lifeguard tower, and it was fairly pleasant, but not the best. And there, out there in the center of your screen, there's the sargassum boat, and it looks like it's completely weighed down with bundles, bales and bales of sargassum. So I'll fly Ronaldo out there and take a look at that sargassum boat, see if they're actively working or if they're taking the day off. But we need about 10 or 15 more of those boats, or a better solution. They used to have barges, entire barges going around cleaning this stuff up. And I think we're gonna need to see that in the near future again. So guys, my quote-unquote office here, the lifeguard tower at Playa 72. We'll check out the view here from the office. Not bad. One thing I love about low season is that it almost feels like being on a deserted island. The level of peace and tranquility here, especially up here on Playa 72 and to the north, like Punta Esmeralda, is next level. Guys, running a little bit short on time. I have a meetup with a very special friend and YouTuber here in just 45 minutes, and I'm quite a ways away from the meetup point. So what I'm gonna do is put Ronaldo back to work. I'm gonna get a ton of shots to the north. We're gonna check out Playa 88 and of course Paradissus if you appreciate my efforts. As always, just smash that like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get Ronaldo back in the sky with a fresh battery, of course. All right guys, I am here between Playa 72 and Playa 88. Ronaldo's just about to take off and do his last bit of work today and go all the way up to Paradissus to get you guys those shots that I promised. All right guys, let's do this. Godspeed, Ronaldo. All right, you can see here sargassum as far as the eye can see. And as we approach Playa 88, you can see a massive collection site of sargassum. We'll take a closer look at that in just a moment. This is to be avoided at all costs. You do not want to be downwind of one of these collection sites, as mentioned earlier. You can see the heavy truck there and all the tractor activity, but it doesn't seem like they're making a lot of progress. You can see Paradissus on the left of your screen there. Bad news, unfortunately, my friends. Paradissus is not looking so great. We'll take a couple more looks at different angles here. As we pan, we can see multiple tractors, trailers, heavy machinery putting in the work there. They're spending plenty of money and resources on this issue in front of Paradissus, but quite for naught, unfortunately. And you can only imagine that the smell is not so great because there's yet another collection site to the north. So Paradissus is sandwiched between two different sargassum collection points. And we'll see collection point number 2 momentarily. We just saw the one at Playa 88, and we'll be going north toward Punta Esmeralda here. And you can see this on the right of your screen. There is basically a mountain of sargassum there with a network of roads going into it. That will take weeks or months to haul all of that away, and in the meantime it is sitting there rotting. The only silver lining is that here we have this cenote and fresh water at Punta Esmeralda, so you can come here and cool off. It is a fantastic option. I will show the only issue in this shot here. You can see just how crowded this becomes because the locals know about this spot and they know that it is really the only clean option right now, aside from maybe the beach in front of the Hyatt. And now as we gain altitude here, you can see the stark contrast between the water in the ocean and the cenote there. So if you didn't know about this cenote, at least go check that out. It's one of my favorite places currently to get in the water and cool off. Now, as we make our way back to the south, we'll take one last fly over Paradissus, and you can see from this angle just how bad the problem really is. That sargassum collection point there is the largest in Playa del Carmen that I know of, and it has quite the strong smell. I walked through there with Ava about a week and a half ago, and the smell was enough to make her gag and not want to go back to the cenote. So here we're going to fly over the main beach at Paradissus. And you can see way off in the distance where we were earlier in the video, in the upper left of your screen, the net system there. I truly hope they do something like that in front of Paradissus and Playa 72 to prevent this disastrous amount of sargassum in the future. Now here, as we get closer, just about 20 meters off the ground, you can really see the texture and the buildup of the sargassum there. And the fact that there's standing water between the sargassum and the beach creates a very, very strong smell. So bad news if you're coming to Paradissus, unfortunately. Playa 88 is a no-go, as well as you see that other collection site right there. And just the sheer amount of traffic, you can see the workers there buried up to their knees in sargassum. The sheer amount of heavy machinery, tractors, and front loaders going by is also creating quite the strong smell of diesel exhaust. So that's something else to keep in mind. And this is shaping up to be the worst sargassum season potentially since 2018. But I will keep you posted in future videos. Now it is time to bring Dronaldo back to the ground and go meet up with our special guest. I'm actually running just a minute late, guys. So I'm trotting, I'm barefoot, taking a little barefoot jog down 5th Avenue to meet my buddy. My friendships and relationships are super important to me, so I hate getting anywhere late. I hate arriving late. So if I gotta run barefoot on a bum ankle to get to this meeting almost on time, that's what I'm doing. Woo! Some unexpected morning cardio. Hola, hola. All right, man. Got the best dressed guy on YouTube, and then the rope monster showing up like this.
It's the best polo that $9.99 can buy.
It's better than my polo. Got nothing.
If I move here, I have to learn not to wear clothes. I think I do wear too much clothing for Playa Del Carmen.
Yeah, leave the shoes at home, man. I mean, look at that. You want to plug your channel?
Yeah, if you're into gambling, that's what I do on my channel. It's Brandon O'Brien.
This is the guy right here.
Just tap.
Every single day you're uploading, man. You're bringing the goods.
Like 20 videos a day or something like that.
So if I want to up my blackjack game just a little bit, that's the place?
Yeah, if you're new at any of the card games, like if you're intimidated going into casinos, watch my videos. I play all the games there so that you at least have an idea how they work, and you don't feel like you're just like wasting your money when you go into a casino.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, usually the house is, the odds are stacked against you, so anything we can do to up that. Check out Mr. Brandon O'Brien himself over there. It's just Brandon O'Brien is the channel, right?
Yeah, you can just look under Brandon O'Brien or Brandon Blackjack or something like that. It'll pop up.
Same handle on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Brandon O'Brien on Instagram too.
All right, let's get out of the sun and get some coffee. I'm getting cooked. Vamanos. All right, guys, so check out the live stream me and Brandon O'Brien just did. That was a lot of fun. We covered some good stuff. Dating, Wheel of Fortune, moving to Playa. Yeah.
You said it all, basically.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
I just want to know if I can be like a regular guest. You don't have to answer that.
Every week. Yeah, no, dude, this is a real OG right here. This is a real brother for life, man. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
Brandon.
You too.
He's dropping knowledge bombs, just constant knowledge bombs, not just about blackjack or Texas Hold'em, the subject matter of his channel, but just life wisdom. So, appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
All right, Rope Monster out. Brandon O'Brien.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was a great hangout sesh there with Brandon O'Brien, a legend, and just a great dude. I'm walking home just in time for it to start dumping rain. So, hey, what's up, man? Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good. Nice to see you.
Good to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah, where are you from?
Nice job.
Hey,
Connecticut.
Connecticut in the house. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone back home?
Sure. I'll say hi to Mallory and Julia, my daughters, and my
Awesome.
grandsons, Brandon Bentley.
Awesome, man. Great
Excellent.
to meet you. How long are you down for?
2 weeks.
Hope to see you
2
around.
semanas.
Okay, 2 semanas. Hablas
Be
muy
safe.
bien el español. You too, brother. Good to meet you. yeah, just feeling truly blessed, even just walking home in the rain. I was just about to say I had a song pop into my head, but I just like changed the words. If you like Road Monster content, getting caught in the rain, just smash that little like button and subscribe if you can. All right, I'll stop now. See you guys in the next one. Road Monster out. All right, my friends, I am here with
Keisha be traveling.
Check her content out over on YouTube. I am a new subscriber of hers as well. She's got some great stuff. Keisha be traveling. You want to tell us a little bit about your channel?
Yeah, so I do content where I'm traveling around Mexico and sharing my perspective about different cities. I've been in Playa del Carmen for 2 years, so I do a lot of travel vlogs here. So check me out, and I do bilingual content in Spanish and English.
Oh, now that is extra right there. That's special. All right, Keisha be traveling, guys. Now you know.
All right, thank you. You are the best.
Thank
Literally
you,
the
babe.
best.
Appreciate it.